Hi, everybody. I'm so happy to be back here and share with you this Facebook Live. It's going to last about 30 minutes, and we are going to talk about restorative yoga and stress. And as a special guest, we have Maria Jose Cordon. She's an entrepreneur and yoga teacher. My name is Ana Stephanie Munoz. I'm a Guatemalan entrepreneur, transformational and stress management coach, and I provide tools to successful people to find happiness and balance in their lives. If the sound is okay, please give me a like or comment below so we know that everything is going okay. I've taken into account all the recommendations you've given me to improve the sound, to improve the how everything looks. So something I want to ask you to tell me about issues related to stress that you're facing right now. So please write below what issues are you facing right now regarding to stress. And as our special guest today, Maria Jose Cordon, as I was saying, she's a Guatemalan entrepreneur and yoga teacher. She's a food engineer and has a master in organizational leadership. She worked for 30 years in her own company called Industrias Only, occupying different positions. And she has been practicing yoga for 15 years and is a yoga teacher specialized in integral, restorative, and therapeutic yoga. She owned Asha Shala Studio, and since 2018, opened the doors of her new Maho Shala studio located in Oakland Zone 10 in Guatemala City. Maho, could you please share something else with our audience today? Welcome. It's an honor and a pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you. The pleasure is all mine. Thank you for inviting me. This is my favorite theme, so I'm very enthusiastic about sharing it with everybody. I'm in love with restorative yoga. Well, with yoga in general, but now more with restorative, which is what I'm focused on.
Excellent. Well, that's amazing. And if anybody has any questions, please ask them to and comment on the chat so we know and we can answer. We have to take advantage that Majo is here today, so it's going to be great that you all comment and ask things that can help us, like understand more what are you up to and what do you want to know. So as a first thing, I want to ask you, Majo, what's the difference between yoga and restorative yoga?
Well, the difference is mainly in the postures. In restorative
Hmm.
yoga, we are making postures that are supported by props. Props, I mean blankets, blocks, or what we call bolsters,
Hmm.
which are big cushions.
Okay.
So here the focus is on resting and relaxing. So we will maintain these postures for 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes maybe.
Hmm.
And otherwise, we also focus more on the breath, which everyone should be focusing on in a yoga class, but sometimes we are just too busy thinking how where does my hand have to go or my leg. So in here we have like the time to really focus on the breath and play with our breath.
Excellent. So we're more focused on the sensations in the body, even though in a normal yoga class you are, but sometimes it goes too fast and you don't really have time to focus and to really feel what's going on all over your body, right?
Yes, in a normal yoga class, it's more active. So you're
Mhm.
working more probably regarding to the body and body consciousness on what we call proprioception, and that's knowing where each part of the body is in space. Whereas in restorative, we're working more in interoception, and that's going inside and feeling, yes, the sensations of the body and connecting to your inner self.
Excellent, excellent. So, yeah, this is great. And I want to ask the audience if you have any question regarding yoga and the difference with restorative yoga. And meanwhile, I want to ask you as well, Majo, what's the difference? Because there's another branch of yoga that's called therapeutic yoga, and and I want you to, well, I want to know what's the difference between restorative and therapeutic. If they're more alike than the normal yoga that people practice, or it's as well different.
Well, restorative practice is a therapeutic practice, really, but it's more
Mhm.
like one of the tools that we use in yoga therapy. So we're going to, in yoga therapy, we will be using different tools like a gentle yoga flow, the breath
Mhm.
also, restorative postures. Maybe we will use a mantra, meditation. So there's a huge range
Mhm.
of tools. Whereas restorative will be one of those tools.
Okay, excellent, excellent. So this is really cool. And well, actually, I'm a practitioner of restorative yoga, and I truly believe that it really makes a difference. I'm, as most of you know, also a yoga teacher like Maho, but I'm more focusing on the other side of yoga, but as a practice for myself and to release stress and to really connect with myself. I truly love restorative yoga, and more if the class lasts a long time, like 2 hours.
Yeah, that's even better. But it doesn't have to last that long.
I
The
know.
the advantage is that you can do it at home. Once you learn the postures, you can do it at home. You can be creative. You can explore with your own body and with whichever props you have, a towel, a blanket, a cushion, whatever, a pillow. And you can do it also for just 15 minutes. You don't have to do it. It's great to be able to do it for an hour and a half,
Hmm.
and you could do it like once a week maybe, but
Hmm.
every day you could do just a posture, a 10 or 15-minute posture, and that's going like to relax and reset you to continue
Hmm.
with your day.
Yeah. No, and the use of the props, as you were saying, the block, the bolsters, that's the big cushion, the blankets, also make a difference because I remember some posture you even, put the blankets on you and you feel like you're going to sleep and it feels so relaxing, even though you're not sleeping. Well, in my case, I sometimes fall asleep, but in general, it's that relaxation mode of really, disconnecting from all the issues that are going around your mind at that precise moment, right?
Yes, and for to be able to disconnect, the posture has to be as my teacher. I studied with Judith Hanson Lasseter, and she's like
Hmm.
the queen of restorative yoga in the States. She has
Hmm.
been doing it for over 20 something years and has written several books. But
Hmm.
well, the posture has to be warm,
Hmm.
not cold at all, because temperature is going to go down when you're in the posture still, and it has to be very comfortable, and that's
Hmm.
the clue. And there has to be silent. There's usually no music because you're going inside and you want to have your own experience and see what comes up. So sometimes music can influence your experience, so usually we have no music, and it's better if it's dark, so
Hmm.
we can put a small pillow over the eyes to get it
Hmm.
to be
Oh,
dark.
yeah. It makes all the difference. I love that.
Yes, and the placement of the props is really important. Like when I started, many people think it's like, I'm just going to lie down with a cushion and that's it. And no, you really have to know a lot of biomechanics,
Yeah.
how the loads are functioning in your body, and
Hmm.
bodies are all different. So you'll have
Hmm.
to place the blocks or the props in a different way.
Yeah.
So it's not just like
Just
that.
like, I'm going to fall asleep.
It is an art, really, to be able to get
Yeah.
up. And you can always put an extra prop, and people will say, "Ah, like it makes all the difference. Now I can relax. That feels so good."
I know, yeah, and it does, it does. And tell me, how does this affect stress, the way we see it or the way we feel after practicing restorative yoga?
Well, it directly affects the nervous system. So
Hmm.
when we're able to be in a very comfortable posture, we will be able to relax all the connective tissue, muscles,
Hmm.
ligaments, and also the joints. So when the
Hmm.
body is relaxed, then the nervous system will say, oh, okay, I can now relax and rebalance and restore. And it
Hmm.
will send signals to the brain like, oh, it's okay, it's safe now, the body can
Hmm.
relax. And then
Hmm.
the mind will start to relax with time. And that's so important at these times because we don't think about our nervous system. We never do. Who is going to check? Oh, I'm going to the doctor to check on my nervous system. You never do
Hmm.
until
No.
well, you get the results of not taking care of the nervous system, and the doctor will probably tell you, you have a burnout. And what can I
Hmm.
do for my nervous system? Well, not much really. It'll take a lot of time and some supplements and some herbs, and you'll have to change all your
Your
lifestyle probably.
diet. Hmm.
So nervous system is being very affected by stress,
Yeah.
and the nervous system is the key to all the other systems. It is regulating all the other systems in the body, the cardiovascular system, the immune system, endocrine,
Hmm.
digestive, respiratory, well, you name it, and the nervous system is there.
Of course, it's related. Everything is connected. It's not, you cannot align one part of your body with the rest because everything affects everything, and especially as you say, the nervous system.
Yes, and we're very focused on the brain now, like everything is neuroplasticity and everything that's happening in the brain, but we forget that there's the connection between the body and the brain is the nervous system. And
Exactly.
it's an automatic, unconscious nervous system. Well, there's a part that's voluntary for the movement, but the
Hmm.
rest of it, the one that controls all the body system, it's
Hmm.
automatic, so it's unconscious. So we don't know what's happening in there sometimes. So it's
Exactly.
just so important to be able to get into that part of the nervous system that is the relaxation response.
Hmm.
Because, well, I suppose you have spoken about this, the nervous system, in other previous
No,
sessions.
actually not.
Oh, really?
We talk about functional medicine, but we discuss it differently. We discuss more, like your connection with the body, but more like how we are not able to deal with stress and how our health is being impacted. But we didn't go into detail to, the nervous system. So I think it's really good that you're talking about it because the nervous system is the first thing that gets affected with stress uh, when we activate cortisol. That for all of you who don't know, cortisol is the stress hormone that we activate at the moment of stress. So that's the one that goes, it can go really crazy. It gives us a human or like superhuman energy that we release, and it affects us. And if we don't close the cycle in our body, the cycle of stress in our bodies, is when we get sick. And obviously that affects, the first thing that's get affected is the nervous system. So restorative yoga, it's an amazing thing to close the cycle of stress in the body, as well as the normal yoga, but it's a different focus, as Majo was saying previously. So I don't know, Majo, and I want to ask the audience if somebody who's actually now hearing us, watching us, has practiced yoga, and if so, if any of you has ever tried restorative yoga, and what have you experienced as a difference? Majo said the differences, but it would be good to hear if any of you has done restorative and the contemporary yoga. What have you experienced? So I leave that question to the audience. And meanwhile, Majo, I want to ask you, like, what recommendations can you give us if somebody wants to start practicing restorative yoga? Yoga in general, but in this case, we're talking restorative. Another chapter, I will do another Facebook live talking about yoga, but because one of the reasons, and I want to share this with you guys, that I started yoga was because I was really stressed out. I was working 12 hours a day, completely crazy stress, eating like crazy because of anxiety. So I wasn't treating my body. So that's why I started yoga. But I started the other yoga. I didn't know about restorative. Probably it would have been heaven at that time. But what can you tell us about that, Majo? What recommendations would you give us?
Well, probably to come to a class first so you can learn the.
Definitely.
Of course, there are videos and there are books, but it's good to go to a class. Like it's a
Hmm.
different experience and it's a different energy in the studio, and you can learn to place better the props. And really, everyone can do restorative class, or almost everyone. If you cannot walk and go down into a mat, then
Hmm.
be more difficult. But if you can get down into a mat, then you can do restorative. And it's great for people who have a lot of stress, who are working, workaholics, who are working a lot of time, which is most of us.
Yeah.
We who live in these big cities, urban life, traffic jams and having to get to work and all the daily stresses that we have, having to pay the debts, the house, having to look at the
Mhm.
children. So it's great for everyone. And also very good if you have an injury. And usually, if you have an injury,
Mhm.
you're not able to get to a normal yoga class because
Yeah.
you might get worse. So, in restorative yoga, there are almost no contraindications for the postures. I still need to know, like, I would like you to tell me if you have high blood pressure or a special injury. So, I know maybe this posture, no, it will be better this one, but it is a very safe practice for everybody.
Okay, that's really important because I know some people aren't able to do any sports or any exercise because due to, I don't know, physical conditions or different diseases. So restorative is a very, very good thing to do when you're not able to do anything, right?
Yes, definitely a great recommendation for everybody, even if you're an athlete and you're all the time in active activities, of course, and or you're an
Mm-hmm,
ashtangi and you have a lot of active yoga, then it's time to restore also. It's time to rest and to digest, as we call this part of the nervous system, the rest and digest parasympathetic nervous system. Because
mm-hmm,
when we go into restorative, the body says, okay, I can relax now and I can restore. I can take the time to digest not only food, but emotions, what has been happening in my life. I have the time to connect with myself, to hear my thoughts or my emotions, to hear my body. So
mm-hmm,
it is really a wonderful and necessary practice if we can live well, we have this concept that I have to be doing and doing all the time and achieving and getting results. So we all need to go to take this time for ourselves, this
mm-hmm,
gift that we give ourselves to just be, just quiet down, being still, and just
mm-hmm,
be, not having to do anything, go anywhere, or play a role, but just
mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly. No, and thank you, Majo. And that's the key. I share because Ramiro, we are so happy to have you here. You're always watching us, and that's amazing. Thank you for being here. And Ramiro was asking, where can he learn this? So I I told him that I'm putting your contact information for all the people that are in Guatemala and want to try this amazing yoga style and this amazing way of relaxing. Majo is located in Okla, in Zone 10. There's her studio, and she has Facebook, she has Instagram, and her email contact as well. So if any of you that are located in Guatemala want to know more about, you can contact her anytime. And for all of you who are outside Guatemala, this Facebook Live is going to remain public, so you can share it with people you know who could benefit. If you're outside Guatemala, you can look for yoga studios that offer restorative yoga. There are all as well workshops sometimes on weekends and stuff that you can go and try this amazing style to completely relax and go inside yourself and treat yourself, because I think this time is like a treat for any of us. And
definitely. And well, sorry, if you are
oh,
outside of
please.
Guatemala and you can write to me and you want to know a specific place where you can find restorative, I'm in several restorative yoga groups. I have several friends in the US, in Canada, Mexico, and I can find out for you where you can take it.
Exactly. So yeah, thanks, Majo. And it's very important that you treat yourself and that you give this gift to yourself to improve the way you handle stress and to help your body relax and complete the stress cycle. The stress cycle is basically it goes to your body, and if you don't get stressed again, it lasts about 90 minutes. So your body recovers, but if you don't do anything, it won't recover. Maybe you have it in your mind, but if you don't translate it into your body, it never, and that's when we get sick because it becomes a chronic stress, and a chronic stress then ends up in, I don't know, hypertension, diabetes, and other diseases, gastrointestinal diseases. We don't finish that cycle. So restorative is an amazing thing to do. Eh, for those of you who want to, share this information, please share it, and we will be aware of all the questions. For those of you who started late the Facebook Live or afterwards have questions regarding this, Majo and I will be answering your questions. And so you can watch it, the replay afterwards. It remains open, so there's not a problem. And I want to ask you, Majo, if there's something else you would like to add so our audience know more about restorative yoga.
Of course, thank you. It's a practice that you have to give it time. It's not like I come once and of course you will get out relaxed. And I have had many students that come, oh, I had this migraine, this headache, or I had this pain in my back and now it's gone. And it's just by relaxing and relaxing the muscles that you can get those results. But also, it's an inner practice that develops with time. So there are some results that you're not able to look at in the moment, but with time, you will be able to notice that you're more present, that you're more calm, that you have this, what is called the resilience, the nervous system resilience, so you can get a better health, more wellness in your life. And you're not so reactive. You're able to respond more to whatever happens in your life, whatever challenges you have. You'll feel more centered and more balanced. But it's like when you're having a baby and you're pregnant, and sometimes you don't know exactly what's happening inside until the baby gets born. And that's how restorative is. You have to give it time and start connecting more to yourself. And it's a great way to start a meditation practice because sometimes meditation is difficult for many of us, just sitting and trying to quieten the mind. So it's like my teacher says, the back door to meditation. It's easier. And the challenge here is not to fall asleep. So you are learning to relax consciously. Not, that's a different, like when you're going to sleep, you're not conscious, you're unconscious, you're being reawakened afterwards. And you can sleep well, and maybe sometimes it happens to you that you wake up and you feel like, oh, I feel like I didn't sleep at all. Whereas in restorative, when you have a practice, you learn to consciously relax. And with that relaxation, you are renewed, you feel renewed. So in restorative, you can really relax and rest. In sleep, not always.
Exactly. No, that's completely true. So thank you, Majo. It's been an honor and a pleasure to have you here. I want to thank
Thank
the
you.
audience for the participation as well. Remember, this recording is open, so you can share it or watch it anytime you like. My name is Ana Stephanie Munoz. I'm a Guatemalan entrepreneur, transformational coach, and stress management expert. So please let me know what are the biggest challenges you're facing related to stress right now, and what other issues would you like us to talk about on this Facebook Live. So please comment below so I can take that into account for future programming. So thanks, Majo. It's been a pleasure,
Thank
as
you.
I said, to have you here. It's always fun to talk with you and to share with you things.
Same here.
And yeah, thank you. And to tell you guys, the next Facebook Live is about decluttering and stress. How if we have a lot of stuff and how that causes us stress and energy stops in the house. So it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be on Monday, same time, same place. So I hope to see you there. And thank you, Majo, again. Thank you, everybody, and have an amazing night and a great weekend. Bye bye, guys.
Thank you.